the first game we look for, Robbie? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What a way to start a show. How you doing, everyone? I hope you're okay. I wasn't planning to do any shows today. We had a show yesterday. Mari did a show. We did a show on Monday, and then we've got a show Friday to look at the weekend, preview the weekend ahead, and then the plan is on Sunday to do a watch along. But I just had to put a show together quickly, guys, because honestly, it beggars belief. What will it take for this fan base to wake up? You know, I've been doing this whole protesting thing and Levy out, Enoch out for about 5 years. I recently gave up my season ticket. I don't go to games anymore. I'm done. And I've been called every name under the sun. You know, I don't appreciate what Levy's done for the club. I've been told this channel's an echo chamber. We only talk about Levy and Enoch. I can't go on certain shows or be part of certain channels because I'm Enoch and Levy out. I want them gone. And this has been the most horrendous season under Levy and Enoch in modern times. It's been absolutely shocking. And slowly, loads of fans are turning against the board. So what's happened today? Why am I making this video? Well, I'm sure you've all seen and heard. But my story begins a little bit differently. So let me take you back. 3 months ago, I sent a text message to Ben, who runs We Are Tottenham TV. And in that message, I said to him, Ben, if Conte leaves, this is the manager I want. And I said Arne Slot before anyone mentioned it or anyone else that I heard talk about him. And the reason I mentioned him was because I knew we wouldn't get Poch. I knew there's no way he'd come back. And I just didn't believe we would go and get a top chair, a manager again, like a Nagelsmann. I never thought we'd do it. And I was proven right on that because, well, if you believe the media, we haven't spoken to Poch, and Nagelsmann said, nah. Now, here's the video I did on We Are Tottenham TV. Everything you need to know about Arne Slot. If you go on Tottenham TV, you can see the video. Got over 20,000 views. It was quite a popular video. And I sat there explaining everything about Arne Slot, his tactics, his formation, about total football, what kind of players we're going to need, what kind of players I think would work that we've currently got. And there I am on the show talking about Arne Slot with Ben and Sim. Okay? Now, I did the show, and then I said to myself, hold on a minute, Stel. Are we really going to get Arne Slot? Because it's all too perfect. You know, that's the manager I wanted 3 months ago. Obviously, I wanted Conte to stay. If I had the choice, I would have kept Conte because we've gone from 4th place to 8th, and we could end up 9th. Sacking Conte was a disastrous move. So all the people that defended it, I'm sorry. That was a big boom. But then I thought to myself, are we really going to get Arne Slot? Now, what I then saw was channels, and this isn't a criticism, right, guys? It's just an observation. I'm not criticizing anyone. There were channels, for example, the Fighting Cock. Arne Slot agrees Tottenham job. So, you know, they're saying, yep, he wants the job. And then you had Spurs Talk Show. Again, not a criticism. The rebuild begins. Arne Slot close. New data model in. So, you know, good things are coming to the club. And We Are Tottenham TV putting out more videos. Spurs prepare to offer Arne Slot a job. And I thought, you know what? No, Stel, no. Back up. Whoa. I'm getting sucked in again. I'm getting sucked in. This is what they do. This is what Levy and Enoch could do. This is why I'm Enoch out. This is why I'm Levy out. This is why I protest. It's why I boycott games now. It's why I go on every channel saying, got to get rid of Levy. Got to get rid of Enoch. They're the problem. It's why some people get frustrated and pissed off with me because I keep banging on about it. But that until we fix that, nothing else can fix. And I thought, I'm not going to get sucked into data analysis. I'm not going to get sucked into Scott Munn, Arne Slot, football director. Levy's going to change his ways. What are you talking about, Stelios? Fix up. So I put a video out. And I put a video out yesterday or the day before. And here's the video. It says, be a fan, not a fool. Do you go in search of being sucked in again? Because I woke up to what was happening. And I put this video out. Go on Tottenham Away, you'll see. And I said, they're trying to suck us in again. I put out another, not a video, but a message saying, here we go again. When will this fan base ever learn about our awful owners? Because there was some rumours that there was a £5 million valuation disagreement between Tottenham and Arne Slot's camp. But guys, I put the warning signs out there because I realised I'm getting sucked in. Don't let them suck you in. We cannot forgive them for the last 23 years. And I'm not going to forget what happened this season. And they can't fix what they've done because we all said Mourinho is the last chance. Well, turns out that was a lie. But we all said Conte. If Conte doesn't work, who can it work with? And I remembered that. I remembered why I'm Enoch out, Levy out, and I remembered why I protest. And I put that video out. I put the video out. Don't get sucked in. You never learn. And I wake up today, and what do we see? Sky Sports breaking news. Arne Slot is to stay at Feyenoord. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I said it, guys. Don't get sucked in. And they did it again. Unbelievable. The comments that came out from Arne Slot. All talks with the club have always been only in that sense. I'm looking forward to next season with Feyenoord. I've been hearing lots of rumours going around about other clubs' interest in me. Although I'm thankful, my wish is to stay at Feyenoord and continue working on what we created last year. There is not, and there has not been transfer conversation. And yesterday's meeting with Feyenoord was for an extension. And then all the different media outlets started reporting. Sky Sports. Tottenham didn't progress their interest in Feyenoord manager Arne Slot because of a disagreement about the terms of his buyout clause. Did Arne Slot play us? Did he play us to strengthen his position for a new contract and a pay rise with Feyenoord? Did Spurs agree to the terms and the conditions? Were we prepared to pay the money to get him? Who would you believe? Well, if we go by history, you're not going to believe anything that comes out of our club. Dan Kilpatrick. Breaking. Arne Slot wants to stay at Feyenoord. And he repeats what Sky Sports said. Fabrizio Romano. Arne Slot stays at Feyenoord. Will not sign a Spurs coach. And he repeats the quotes as well. My wish is to stay, continuing working on what we created last year. When you think about it, why would you leave Feyenoord? You've just won the league. You're a young manager. You're learning your trade. You're improving year by year. You've got Champions League football next season. The club's clearly going to buy some players in to back your campaign for next season. Big up, Iggy. Why would you come to Spurs? It's a shit show. The same reason Nagelsmann said to us, what's the structure? What's the plan? We couldn't present one. See you later. De Zerbi. Why would you leave Brighton? Europa Cup. You've got a great chairman. The club's going in the right direction. He's happy there. So I'm not surprised Arne Slot said no. And that's why, guys, I put the video out. Don't be a fan, not a fool. Don't get sucked in. Mark Goldbridge today. He's come out with a video. Shocking. Tottenham in crisis. Iggy.
Huge crisis. We got used as bait, mate. The Slot done the deed. He just got himself a bumper deal to stay at Feyenoord. We got used as bait because there was interest in him, and then it was like, good night, Vienna, job done. I've always wanted to stay at Feyenoord. Yeah, what you been doing in the last month, bruv? Have you been? Why didn't you just save us all the trouble and tell us a while ago that you wanted to stay at Feyenoord? We got used as bait. We always get used as bait. This skis ain't called Slot. It's called Slut. and that's what sluts do, man. They bait you. and he just done a job on us, man. Good for him. Good for him. He used that to serve him good, man. And he got what he wanted. He's obviously been promised. He's been promised things that perhaps weren't clear prior to the interest from Tottenham. I heard last night De Zerbi talking next to the chairman, post match, and he looks like he ain't going anywhere. He seems like they're ready to go again this summer to make Brighton a more competitive side for next season, given that they'll be they'll be playing certainly in 4 fronts. So 3 domestic and 1 in Europe. So he ain't going anywhere. So all the managers that we were linked to, we can put a massive mark next to him. Pochettino gone, Slot gone, Nagelsmann ain't going to happen. Luis Enrique not going to happen. Who we left with? Pardew, Big Sam. Who's not got a job? And who, more importantly, wants the Tottenham job? Because let's have it right here, man. What have Tottenham right now, under this ownership, got to offer any manager coming in? Unless they want to commit suicide. That's the only thing we can offer them. Or they've run out of options. So, which is why I say Brendan Rodgers, for me, will be the one will be the one, because he's burned all the bridges. So he might as well take a punt at Spurs.
Well, it's already begun. It's already begun to try and diffuse the absolute shit show that we are. Bang, just in. Tottenham now strongly considering Ange Postecoglou. Here we go again. Here we go. Iggy, I don't know if you saw. I put a video out. I go for an evening walk now.
I saw it.
I go for an evening walk, and if something pops in my head to do with Spurs, I just record it. And the other night, I said to myself, "Do you know what? I'm getting sucked in." And I was saying that all these other fan channels, they're all getting sucked in as well. I thought, no, Stel. Remember why you're leaving out. You know better. You read what's really going on. And then I start saying, don't get sucked in. You know what's gonna. And then literally the next day, bang. And you know what it is for me, Iggy? It's clear to me now. We sat Conte in March. We had a week or two during that international break to come up with a plan to try and source a manager, even if it's just for the next 10 games. Because we were 4th place, man. And we've basically written off the season. We were competing with United and Liverpool for that and Newcastle for top 4. And rather than saying, right, let's set this up nicely for the next manager, let's bring in Redknapp. Let's bring in whoever. Just try and get top 4, man. At least Europa Cup. Someone with experience. Someone that can get the players on board. Instead, we literally... we got the season and we went 10 games to go. It's all right. Don't worry. I can't believe it.
You need to make those papers a little bit smaller now, because we went as far as Mason. We got Stellini, more rip. Then you get Steve Mason, rip up a bit more. Rip it up. There you go. Now,
Arne Slot.
Yeah, there we go. Keep going.
Postecoglou.
Wait, lead yourself a little bit because we've still got Leeds to go. Once we get to Leeds.
It's
You know
literally.
what, guys?
We
we're not
threw the
laughing
season away. We threw the season
We're not
away.
laughing because the season. We're not laughing because we find this funny. We're laughing in just pure disbelief of how ridiculous it's all got. And I can't listen. You guys have seen what I've been like in the last few weeks. I've been in an absolute like an emotional roller coaster, man. I've been all over the shop because of it. Maybe you're right. Maybe I did get sucked in again, but it's just like it's just too much now. It's just ridiculous. It's the levels of mediocrity within this club is astonishing. Honestly, it's astonishing. I just can't get my head around it.
I just can't believe that we've thrown the whole season away. We've set up the next manager, whoever he's going to be, for doom, and the reality is, we still haven't got a plan. We still haven't got a plan because we're talking about data analytics. We're going to bring data analytics to Tottenham. Oh, Arne Slot's going to be the manager for us. Daniel Levy, he's leaning on experts to speak to them. Surely, the whole point of Scott Munn, he decides, right, this is the plan. And we're going to use data analytics. And we're going to speak to this expert. And that's the manager. And that's the head scout. Or surely you get in a football director and he puts a plan together and he decides about data analytics. He decides who the manager is. What we're doing is this new illusion of a footballing role, the football chief officer, executive director, whatever you want to call him. He doesn't come till July. No football director. So let's just go after managers. Let's just, data analytics. Yeah, we're going to speak to experts because Conte's not an expert. Mourinho's not an expert. We won't listen to them. We're going to go listen to the ones we want to hear. It's a mess because there's no plan. And they're not going to draw up a plan, Iggy. It's clear to me. They're not going to draw up a plan. They're going to try and wing it again. Even after a disastrous season. Even people that defend them are now turning. They still haven't got a plan. And that's why Nagelsmann said, no. This is why Arne Slot has turned around. He probably has had conversations. He's probably shown a bit of interest, knowing that he's going to stay at final anyway. But I bet if we sold him a really good package, he would have said, do you know what? Let's have another conversation. But we haven't sold him anything. So he's just had one look and said, you're all right. And I said this 2 years ago after the Carabao Cup final when we lost to Man City. I got interviewed on We Are Tottenham TV. And I said to them back then, the receipts are out there. Go on their channel. Carabao Cup final. And I said, I got interviewed with Cheyenne. And I said to them, what manager with any brain is going to take this job now after what we've done to Mourinho and Poch? And somehow we got Conte. But now after what Conte said and done and what they're seeing happen to the team falling down the table, no manager of real quality is going to look at Tottenham and say, do you know something? I want to work under that regime. I want to work under this structure. I want to work in this scattergun approach. I know that if I go for a bit of a difficult patch, you're going to have my back and you're not going to sack me. No manager. Because there's so much evidence, so many years of this now. It's gone on for so long. The longest chairman to ever serve in the Premier League. The longest chairman to ever be in charge at Tottenham Hotspur. No one's been in charge this long. There's so much evidence to say, you lot are done. We don't want to work for you. And this is why Arne Slot isn't coming to Spurs, because there's no plan. There's no plan to present to him.
I can't even argue that, man. I cannot even argue that. I can't argue that. I've got no counter argument, unfortunately. And you know what? I don't know who's gonna be interested in this job. Looking at what's happened at Spurs the last 2, 3, 4 years, I don't know who in the right mind will say, yeah, this is the job for me. I generally don't know.
My brother said to me a while back, if we get rid of Conte, goes, watch we're going to end up with Ryan Mason next season. I said, don't be so silly. Don't be so silly. Even now that he's failing, I've said to my bro, do you really think Mason's going to get it now? The only game he's won is against Crystal Palace. He's won 1 game in 6. We've collapsed. And he said to me, watch. Iggy, surely we're not going to end up with Ryan Mason, man. Surely.
You know what? If
Come
you
on.
wanna cheer yourself up a little bit, you might want to put a £5 on it. Go to the betting shop and put some money on it. Worst case scenario, at least you're winning something. Because it ain't going to be football matches.
There's no way we can put Ryan Mason in charge.
You might as well win something because you ain't going to be winning football matches. Honestly, like I despair, guys. I know I'm taking it a little bit with a tongue in cheek, but you know what? It is desperation. It is lack of clarity, lack of vision, accountability, lack of everything within the football aspect of things at Spurs. There's just a lack of everything. You're right, Smith. It's a mess, an absolute mess at this club. And do you know what? There's no signs whatsoever. None. No sign whatsoever of this changing trend at any point. We know normally, last game of the season is quite exciting. If you think of where we was like this time last year when we was playing Norwich, how excited we was going into that Norwich game. Sonny was about to win the top goal scorer. We was going back to the Champions League. We was just such a high, man. And it's like, how have we managed in less than 12 months? Absolutely shit all over that. Like, it is a long distant memory. I just don't understand it, man.
Because of these two. And fans have taken a long time to realise it. What I've been saying all along. We've got an owner that sees us purely as an investment. And then, pick up JP, and we've got a chairman that does not have a footballing clue, and he refuses to give footballing control, all of it, to football people. And this is where it's all going wrong. Do you know, I have to say, man, Brighton have absolutely, they've stuck one right up us, bang. They're 6th, little Brighton and Hove Albion. When I was at uni down in Brighton, best time of my life. Honestly, I've got a lot of time for Brighton and Hove Albion because it was part of my growing up, going to watch the Albion, got the student discount tickets to watch them. They were in Division 4. They put a plan in place to get to the Premier League, to build a new stadium, and to build an academy. And you know what? They've done it. I was there when the journey began. I watched it. And they've done it. And not only they've done it, they're in Europe. They're in Europe, JP. Isn't
the Brighton guy, isn't the Brighton director who used to be at Spurs?
CEO. The CEO, yeah, Paul Barber, used to be worked for. Yeah, but Levy pissed him off as well. He's fucked off, gone there, nailing it.
I see a theme going on there.
The chairman of Brighton
exactly.
Loves Brighton.
Is there a pattern
The
going
chairman
on?
He's one of our own, Ryan Mason. He's one of our own. It's going to be there, lads.
Brighton and Hove Albion are a better run football club than Tottenham. Tottenham's not a football club. We're not a football club. We're an entertainment and multi-purpose leisure company, tourism company, whatever you want to call it. Football is one of the activities now. Reality, it's one of the activities.
It's true.
It's not core. It's not. We've got to make sure it's the best it can be and then build everything around it. Everything around's got to be great, and that just kind of sits there bringing in money to feed everything else. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to build the cinema, the apartments, the skyscrapers. We're going to get the NFL team, the Hurricane Hotspurs,
Ice
NFL
hockey.
franchise, Harry Kane quarterback. Yeah. Harry Kane.
It's like it'd be like a multi-story car park, wouldn't it? There's a Grand Prix at the bottom, then you've got NFL, then you've got football on top of that, and
There's
what's
no interest.
the sky thing at the top. Like, there's layers,
There's no
man.
interest in the
Layers.
football.
There's layers.
It's become more and more evident. It's become more and more evident that there's no interest in the football side of things. It really isn't, and it was so. Listen, you guys, not to go back on it again, but I hadn't been to a game for a little while, you know, over 2 months, and then see it and being there for that last home game. We're so detached from anything important on the football front. We're just we're a million miles away. There's nothing about it that we're going in that direction. Nothing.
I just want to say a big thank you quickly to De La Spurs for the super chat. He says Ruud van Nistelrooy has left PSV.
Yeah, I saw that.
Could he be the next manager? And also
I
big
heard
up
that
to
name.
Brian Maguire.
Oh,
Not only did he come down from Scotland to protest, he's now a channel
He's
member
the
as
man.
well.
Yes,
Big up
I
to
remember
Brian.
Brian. I remember Brian.
He's the
Big
man.
up, Brian.
Brian's the
I
man.
remember him. I spoke to him.
JP did an interview with him for the channel.
Yes,
You can
I
go check
spoke
it
to
all out.
Brian myself.
Fantastic guy. Fantastic
Big up,
guy.
Brian. It was lovely meeting you, mate.
Yeah, I only came on for 10 minutes. I've got a call in a bit. I've got to run, but I just wanted to say, what fucking
We got Levy on the
circus?
other line or
Circus is normal, isn't it? Circus is normal.
Listen, I've
It's a
got
joke.
to say, man, JP, if fans don't stand up against this ownership, if fans
I don't
don't
see
do
how
anything,
people still. How can people now, even at this point, just kind of go, "Oh yeah, but he's doing a really good job. It's everyone else's fault." It's like you go, there's one step lower, and one step lower.
Do you know what's tragic? Do
And
you
one
know what's
step
really
lower.
tragic? Do you know what's really, really tragic? I can't prove it because it hasn't happened, and I need it to happen to prove it. But I know deep down, if we'd got Arne Slot, he would have been the right manager for us. Obviously, he would have needed backing, as always, and obviously he would have needed to have patience and time given to him, like Harry Redknapp and Poch was given. But as a coach and manager, he would have been the right fit for us. He really would have. And that fucking kills me because I called it 3 months ago. I said Arne Slot. I could see what he was doing. He was the next, for me, he's the next kind of Poch coming up through the ranks. People say he's the next Ten Hag. He's a little bit different to Ten Hag. But now, unless we get De Zerbi, or which we're not going to get,
isn't it?
Nagelsmann, if he
coming
comes,
still.
you know, if Nagelsmann comes now, it's going to turn toxic with him because it's not off on the right foot. The only way Levy saves anything now is to get Poch in. The only way he saves our club is to bring back Poch, but that seems like it's a done deal, although it's not announced yet. So any other manager for me, it's a disaster now. I don't get it. I don't see what manager comes to this club and
on a serious question. If you're Nagelsmann, you've just seen all this thing happen with Slot. You've just seen why they won't get Slot if it's because of like 5 million quid or whatever it is. Like, how does that make you feel? Oh, I'm like a really wanted person.
it's the same as what happened with Nuno, isn't it? Nuno was choice number 7. We're going to do that again now, isn't it? Whoever we get now is, well, I'm sloppy desserts. I'm the one you didn't want. And I'm supposed to be inspired and motivated.
We just skip the whole summer and just get Nuno back.
Yeah, but do you remember what happened when we did that? We hired that 6th, 7th, 8th choice. We ended up hiring Nuno. That ended up being a disaster. And then he had to act and bring someone big, not because he genuinely wanted him, like Conte, but because he was forced to go and get him. And I feel like we're heading there again. And then you're going to have the whole Harry Kane thing kicking up a storm again. And you're like, we're just going back again and doing the same things over and over again. That's the bit that I find frustrating, that we don't learn from mistakes. I say we. They, the club, do not learn from errors. They just repeat the same errors and then they take tactics to get out of them.
It's literally Groundhog Day, isn't it?
Do you know what's really alarming? Like, really, really alarming now. I know there's so many. So I want to big up to Ben Stewart from Planet Football. Guys, if you can't see this, don't worry, I'll read it out to you. But basically, since Conte left, these are the points that each team has won and how many games they've played. And do you know where Tottenham are? 15th. If the league season began the day Conte left, we would be 15th. Now, factor in, we haven't got a manager. Chances are we're not going to get a good manager that we want as fans or that we believe can work. And Harry Kane might go. When people talk about relegation battles next season and people talk about, Everton, we could be the next Everton. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you go by this data and consider that Kane might not be here, it's a strong, listen, it's a possibility. There's evidence to support why we could be in that relegation dogfight. 15th.
Yeah, but you live by your sword, you got to take your consequences, right? As a chairman.
If it's because of
Okay.
Kane.
Look at the top six right now. Look at the top six right now. Man City with Pep. Arsenal with Arteta. Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Ten Hag at United. Klopp at Liverpool. De Zerbi at Brighton. Poch, let's just say he's going to Chelsea. Unai Emery at Villa. All those clubs, that's 8 clubs. All those clubs have got their manager in place ready for next season. They know what their squad is. They know what they need to do in the transfer window. And they've got 8 weeks. As soon as the season ends this weekend, they've got 8 weeks before the season starts to attack the transfer market, tie up any loose ends, secure any long-term contracts, bring in replacements, and power go. Where are we even close to that, man? And look at what we've got to deal with. An entire squad that needs to be rebuilt. No manager, no director of football, Harry Kane's contract, 8 players coming back from loan that we can't sell. Squad's bloated. My God, man. Like, we've got the most amount of work to do and we're the least prepared. There's no way next season's going to be good, in my opinion. If next season's good, I'll do any forfeit you guys want. Any forfeit you want, I'll do it. Because I'll be amazed how we turn that around when I look at the competition and how ready they are and how energized they are for it. We're just nowhere near it, man. Nowhere near.
I think you'd have to be daft to think that we're going to have a decent season next year. I think next year is about kind of relaying some foundations. And as fans, I think we've got to realise that, right? Kind of step one is getting that director of football and then getting the manager in. It's literally going to be a kind of start from scratch. And it would have been an exciting start from scratch if we started off with Slot.
JP, you say getting in the manager. You say getting in the manager, but what if we end up with Graham Potter or if we end up with Mason? What is that the right foundation? Or are we going to dig? Are we going to dig a deeper hole?
But who's to say that they won't do a good job?
I'm saying Ryan Mason's going to be a disaster.
No. Can I be fair? Graham Potter or Brendan? Yeah, sorry, go on, Nix.
What's funny is that we haven't even started next season. We haven't even finished this season yet, and we're already depressed about the next one.
Because
we're
it's a joke,
fans, man.
We haven't even had
it's reality. Yeah, but you got listen, Mark Goldbridge.
You know what I mean, Nix?
Mark Goldbridge. He made a video today. He made a video saying they're in crisis.
Everyone knows it. United. I think. But still, we don't know. We can't, as much as we can guesstimate, I don't think we can categorically say that Potter would fail, right?
I can.
Or like your Brendan Rodgers would fail.
I can.
Fail to prepare to fail. I live by that, man.
We're not giving our manager the best opportunity to
100%
next season.
The manager
should already be here assessing the players. The new manager should be already planning, right? Telling the club, this works, that works, this maybe I can work with. He should be looking at the youngsters. What's Spence really like? What's this Edoji kid like? Let me have a look at Alfie Devine. Let me see where Skip's development's at. There's no one here to do it. There's no one here doing it. I don't get how next season works. Unless I've missed something.
if they have someone in mind, they could be doing that already, right? Brendan Rodgers could be doing that now. Harry Potter could be doing that now.
How?
Right? You don't know.
He's not. They're not at the training ground.
No.
They've got to be. Well, okay. So basically, they're on YouTube watching video clips like we do. They're watching YouTube clips like we do when we sign a player. Oh God!
He's made it a shambles, man. What can you say? This is all on that guy, and I'm not talking about God. Oh, Iggs, man.
I just honestly, I'm not.
This is what you need.
Yeah, my God, I got nuts.
We're
Honestly, man, I was
we are
actually,
screwed,
I was actually a bit excited about an Arne Slot coming to Spurs, man, because I did my homework on this guy and I thought, you know what? Big up to Phil P super chat.
Man.
I think a lot of people did homework recently.
No,
Phil P says the days since Spurs embarrassed us, 0. Leave me out.
You know what? Off stream, Stone's been bigging him up so much that even I started looking at a few of these games from Feyenoord, man, and they play some slick football, man. Their spine of that team is thick, honestly, so good. So it's like really forward thinking football. You know what I mean? Like, you know how Pep invented his way of playing. This guy here is doing his. De Zerbi is doing his as well. These managers, young managers, man, they got their own way, their own style. Even Brighton, I saw Brighton play Man City. They didn't look like that match was as good a game, as a top of the league clash. If you look at Brighton Man City game the other night, it looked like a top of the league clash. And this is Brighton, man. We're a million miles of that level. We're a million miles. I don't know, guys. I'm genuinely, and for me to say this, guys, I'm like positive at best of times, but I am genuinely worried about next season. And
it's a write-off. It's a write-off. Next season's done.
And we ain't never finished this season yet.
Listen. Anyhow, Harry Kane goes this summer, we are in big, big trouble. And that chart I showed everyone. That chart I showed everyone. Look, the only teams that were worse than us, right. JP, the only teams that were worse than us were Everton, Chelsea, Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton. 3 of them are getting relegated. 3 of them are getting relegated.
But you go, Leicester beat us, how many? 4-1, wasn't it, recently?
4-1.
Southampton came back and drew against us. Everton drew against us.
Everton drew against us. Chelsea we beat. Leeds, we got them on the weekend.
Yeah.
We've picked up 8 points since Conte was sacked. 8. And he sat there and he told everyone, you can change the manager. This club won't change until they change. You'll see. And you know what? We're seeing it. We are seeing it happen in front of our eyes. It's happened quicker than what we thought. It's happening a lot quicker than what we thought.
Who knew?
That's why some people got to understand that he's a professional and he's done this before.
He knew, man.
Kind of what he says, we got to understand what he says, right?
I never liked
playing like that for a reason.
I'll be one to say it as well. I never enjoyed going to the games but I understood why he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he never lied to us. One thing that in the press conferences and whenever he spoke, he was always straight with us, man. Always. And that's the one thing I rate about him. He always told us, as much as he could, obviously, how things stood. And you can't turn around a few months later and say what he said was wrong. And in the end, he had enough. He had enough. And we all know that he wanted to leave in the end. We know that. But he grew disillusioned. The difference is he can check out. He can leave and start a career somewhere else. We're still here. We got no choice.
Got a super chat here from Soundboy who says, my wife told me she's leaving in because Levy's bringing Beyonce to the lane. For fuck's sakes. Samboy, to be fair to your wife, that is the modern day fan. Say again, JP.
I hope Samboy got her tickets.
You know what? Talking of which, I think we should go. We might get more excitement.
We've got. I think we've got a
certainly
protest
see
planned.
better entertainment. Certainly see better entertainment and a better show.
I tell you what, honestly, guys, we've got 550 odd watching the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep your comments coming. I'm trying to put
you got a protest plan
up. Yeah, I think there's a protest that's going to be planned for the Beyonce concert.
550 people tuning in. Everyone's got to be hitting that like. Everyone's got to smash that like.
Are you just looking still for all the single ladies? Oh, the single ladies.
I can see it.
Put your hands up.
We're going. You know what?
Laugh, man. Jeez, we're fucked. This as a football club.
All the available managers. All the available managers.
Put your hands up. That's probably what he's doing, isn't he? Put your hands up.
Put your hands up if you want to work for Levy. Oh man, it's you know, it's so sad, man. It's so sad because we built the stadium. It was meant to be the game changer, and it was meant to be the moment that we take that step up to the next level. And literally, since we built the stadium, we've gone backwards. We've actually gone backwards from the champagne football that we were playing at White Hart Lane, that amazing last season, undefeated at home, on the brink, on the cusp of winning major honours. And then we took that step and we were tricked. We were tricked, man. They sacked Poch. That's when I became Enoch out, Levy out. When they sacked Poch, that was me. And we've made every wrong decision in the book because the reality is it's about the money. It's about the wealth and it's about them. It's not about the football. They've taken the football club away from the football club. They've taken the football club away from the football club. And this is it, man.
Literally, as seasons go by, the true fans who get jacked off or can't be asked with it anymore are throwing their season tickets in, which is what he wants. At the end of the day, he doesn't want fans there who love the club and love football and want to see us win and want to see us develop and progress. He just wants people turning up for the day, spending some dough, buying food, buying drinks, going buying a bit of merchandise, not interested in the football. It's that day experience. And you don't get that with reoccurring season ticket fans, really, do you? You get us pissed off because the football's crap and we're not winning anything. That's how I see it.
Our fans, our fan base, honestly, I know you might disagree, guys, and I know you might not like it, but our fan base is the problem now. It has to be the problem. Levy got us into this mess. Enoch got us into this mess. They've created the problem. They've made the problem worse. But if it continues, it's the fans. It's the fans for allowing it to continue. You cannot be going to Brentford away, losing 2-1, with Ryan Mason as the manager, paying the highest prices in English football, and then celebrating afterwards with your beers and just drinking and enjoying the summer in the stadium. You can't be doing that and then complaining about leaving Enoch. The two don't add up. You can't complain about the problem and then feed the problem. Stop feeding the problem. And then the problem will either go away or it'll have to change its ways. But we've got a super chat here from Strasbourg. Steve, big up Strasbourg. Steve, my guy. Levy will literally have you guys fighting relegation in 10 years. Well, less than that.
Less than that.
The trajectory is the opposite of Newcastle. It's scary, to be honest. Well, it's reality. It's what happens when you neglect the core part of any business. This is what will happen. If you start forgetting about the customer and you don't look after what the customer is there for, then this is what happens. Everything begins to unravel. Any business. But Levy's customer isn't you and me. Levy's customer is that upper middle class. We're here for a day out. We're here to just, enjoy the ambience of the new arena. We're here to try out the beer that comes from underneath from the bottom. We're here to try a bit of corporate hospitality. That's his customer now. NFL are his customers. We're not his customers. We're not.
upper middle class is bang on the money, man. That's the Tottenham Stadium right now, because at those prices, man, it can only attract those that you won't get working class in that stadium. Certainly not in the numbers that it used to be, because of their prices. It's just extortion. So you're only going to attract upper middle class. So that's the way that it's heading. But like I said to you, that last home game that I went to, man, I saw so many things that I hadn't quite seen as like that as before, and I just thought, you know what, this is terrible. I was looking at half time. I was looking round, and I've said this many times now. I was looking round, and I thought, what is going on there, man? People are partying like this. It felt like we was on some sort of one of them events like summer parties. It felt like that. It had nothing. It didn't feel like I didn't get the energy of the game. Nothing. There was nothing about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely right, man.
Perchy TV. How'd you do that? I see people saying that.
Maybe everyone should stop.
How does anyone do that? Like, how do we control that? How can we stop people going to games?
You can't. People need to naturally do it themselves, Iggy. I've tried. I've fought everyone.
It's not that easy. I think it's because the way we are in this day and age, even if we just say I'm not going, but does that mean I put my ticket up for sale? Someone else will take it, right? If there was no market there, if there was no one there to take my ticket or take Stell's ticket or anyone's ticket, then that would be a different thing. But there's floods of people who just want to come, and that's the crowd that Levy wants. Not necessarily Spurs fans, or not necessarily like us who have go there for the football and want to win and stuff. People go there for the experience these days.
It's what it is. I understand.
Yeah, but not at Brighton. They don't. At Brighton, they go there to back the team and the club, and
No, but that's kind of Brighton are still
Tottenham have built
like an old. No, but they're like an old school club, aren't they?
Yeah, but you could call it an old school club, but Spurs have specifically built a club that can become more than just a football team. That NFL changing room is huge. It wasn't built for 1 or 2 games a year. It's been built for a longer project. I feel that Levy has got a vision that he's not sharing with everyone else, and he'll hide behind we want more income streams for the football team. No, you don't. You're building something different to what we're being told, and that's how I look at it. And I can tell because they don't know what they're doing with the football. If they really cared about the football, man, they would have had a committee in place to run the football, and the manager would have been in place by now, and we'd be looking at the squad and how to fix it. But he doesn't. He doesn't care about the football. He makes out he does. Big up Lee, by the way, for becoming a channel member. Scorpions for life. Super chat, big up. I am convinced nothing will change. The fans are the problem too. I argue with other local fans and they back Levy saying how wonderful he is. I am that. Mate, Scorpion, you're preaching my language, my man.
Honestly, even now, though, even now, those people who think everything's wonderful must be like kind of at their tether, right?
Do you know what? I would love to speak to some of those fans, even on here. I would love to have some of those fans who truly believe that the way Levy's doing things is still the right way. I would love, but not. I don't want to have them on because I want to slam them. I actually want to hear what their reasonings would be for that to carry on. But it has to be like something that I can honestly, not just for the sake of arguing or just for the sake of defending, actually to say, do you know what? I believe that he's the man to take us forward. I believe this is going to happen because of this, that, and the other. Someone that can come on and just rationalize that thinking and tell me what it is that I'm not seeing. Because I don't know, man. We're here saying our piece, and we're seeing it firsthand. We go to the games, but we have been to the games, and we're at the point we can see it. We live it and breathe it every week, especially at home games for sure. So, if anyone out there that goes to the games regularly and says, you know what, I completely disagree with you, I want those guys to come on, and I want to hear what they've got to say, because often enough we even us that here, we're agreeing with what we're saying. We do agree because we see it firsthand. But we're not saying we agree. We genuinely believe what we're seeing
we
is
feel
not the way
yeah.
forward, man. And I just want to know why there must be fans out there that don't believe the way we think is the right way. So I want to hear from those fans, because I don't know how you're gonna overcome this obstacle if we don't hear each other out. People hear us, but we're obviously not hearing the voice of the majority.
When we were making that show the other day, you know, when we were live at Brentford, and I was out, I was out kind of where Ryan and that was, and there was that guy Andrew who was quite kind of like vocal. When Brian took my phone and he was talking to everyone, there was a guy having a big, massive argument with that Andrew. And it was like, I was gutted I didn't have my phone, so so I could record it. But it's just, there are people out there though, Iggs.
I need to hear from those guys.
Yeah, there are. Guys, some of you are asking to come on the show and whatnot. We're going to end the stream in a minute because it was just a quick pop-up one. But I just want to say, Spurs GP, thank you for coming to channel member. Faz, super chat, would mass walkouts in home matches help the... Absolutely, because then we're beginning to hurt the finances of the club. And also, it's bad on the optics for Sky Sports and the people that support Levy watching it. It's not good for the brand. Perchy, big up for the super chat. Agree, JP. But how can people put their money to this? My breaking point was 2 years ago. Not giving these vultures until they go. Big up the panel. Big up to Perchy. Thank you for your super chat, man.
I think the only thing I would say really quickly, sorry, Iggy, is that rather than not going, to me, and this is my view, by not going, it's giving in to Levy to get what he wants and the sheep in there, right? By you going as a true traditional normal fan, you have that opportunity to have that voice inside the stadium, and you can make that noise inside the stadium. I totally get by not giving him money. The problem is I don't give him money. Some other bugger's giving him money, and then the fans, the club's just going downhill to pot.
Before we finish up, I just wanted to share a little story with you lot. Yeah, that's happened recently with the upcoming game between Juventus and AC Milan that's due to take place this weekend.
You do it quick though, because I've got to wrap it up.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm going to be really brief, but just want to share with you the power of the fans.
Okay.
What Juventus did is like criminal in the sense that they said they were going to sell their tickets to the away fans, €80 a match. The Milan fans went absolutely crazy because no one pays €80 for an away game. All right, if you factor the cost of going to the away games, etc. So what they've done, they've boycotted. They are not going to be present. All of them, organised fans, said that we will not be attending the game this Sunday or Saturday, whenever it is. But we're going to be going, all of us, the organised fans are going to go 400 kilometres away where they have all the floods to help the people in need. They actually put a statement, the organised group put a statement out to say we will be 400 kilometres away from that stadium helping out people that have been suffering with floods recently in northern Italy. They will be all going there to help them out, and they have refused to go to the away game to Juve. So when people say what can we do as fans, when there's a will, there's a way. They have boycotted going to the Juventus game this Sunday and help out the people in need. So the fans are the most powerful people in a football stadium. Don't ever forget that. Don't feel like you as a fan are not important enough or not worthy enough to have your say against your own club. At the end of the day, the club belongs to the fan, not to anyone else. That's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
There you go. Guys, look, we are going to wrap it up. What I will say is tomorrow we are going live at 9 p.m. We're going to have more information, everything that's going on. Plus, there'll be the next round of nonsense that's going to happen at this club. Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. where we go live for a bit longer. This was just a quick show.
Tomorrow.
Quick big up to Brian Maguire, channel member, Della Spurs for the super chat, Phil P super chat, Soundboy super chat, Strasbourg Steve super chat, Wolves F1, big up my man, thank you so much. Adrian, I missed your one, sorry bro. I bumped into an old lady exiting Tesco's and she dropped her shopping. I apologize and asked, can you manage? She said, F off, lad. I don't want to work at Spurs. Very good. Very good. Big up, Lee, for your super chat. Scorpions for life. Big up. Spurs membership. Big up. Faz, thank you. Perchy as well. Thank you too. Guys, you can catch us tomorrow 9 p.m. And we are doing a watch along as well on Sunday. But look, just a quick one. Don't get sucked in. Don't believe anything that comes out of this club's mouthpiece. We're in trouble. Protest, boycott, leave you out, Enoch out, get involved, or it just gets worse. On that note, I'm not even going to say, come on, you Spurs. Have a good one.
Leave you out.
Leave you out.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.